Gamo Swarm Magnum Gen 2. My band's gone, but it's 177. I've had this gun for a few months now. I've put probably 300, 400 rounds through it over the last few months. And just want to do a little quick review on it. They claim with alloy it'll do 1650 feet per second. It is not going to do 1650 feet per second, even with the alloy. I have seen videos of them shooting upwards of 1523 with alloy. Most people are shooting alloys around 1350, 1375, somewhere in there. It's got a 51-pound cocking effort. It does have the recoil actuated, self-advancing 10-round magazine in it, and it's the Gen 2, so it lays flat instead of vertical, so it's not all in the way of the scope. I see a lot of people say they don't understand how this scope rail is supposed to help recoil. I don't see nothing special about it. You see that little gap in it right there? This front half free floats, the rear half don't. It just rides the rails, and there's two little nylon like shock absorbers in there. The scope is not adjustable objective. That doesn't really matter for me because these guns are really only designed to be shooting accurately at, like, I don't know, 30, 35 yards, 40 yards. You can get out further with it, but you got to have very heavy pellets. I've been using, mostly for my target practice, I've been using Crosman Premier hollow points. They're 7.4 grain, and every single shot breaks sound barrier. Get a loud crack. I've got some 9.8 grain copper magnums from Crosman. They don't break the sound barrier in it, and they're a little more accurate out of further distance. You get between 21 and 23 foot-pounds of energy with this rifle. For a 177, that's tremendous. I've taken squirrel with it. I have no issue believing it'll take rabbit. It does got the fiber optic sights there, and they actually glow nice and bright. The camera flash in this dim room really ain't doing them much justice, but they're really bright fiber optics, and if you look, let it focus, they're small. They're not in great big fat things. They're adjustable for windage and elevation, and your front sight, to keep you from snapping it off, is shrouded. There's somewhere I need to touch up still. The only real thing that I've found that I could do to this to make it any better was it had some edges where the casting, where the stock was casted. It was a little ridgy up through here, up through there, along the cheek piece, down under the trigger guard, right here, along the base of the forearm. And as you can see, I ain't done these ones yet, but there's that ridge right there. I've just been taking sandpaper like that and just taking the sharp ridges off of it, and it just makes the rifle much more comfortable to use. Now everybody says, oh, you're scuffing the shit out of it. Well, you know what? I'm going to sand it down with this heavier stuff, then I'm going to sand it with some finer stuff, and then I think I'm going to take the rifle out of his stock and paint it. Same with the Moderator. That is a true Moderator. It does have baffles. Unfortunately, this 177 flying at 1140 foot per second with lead, Moderator don't do it much good. You had to get much heavier pellets. But I mean, I set up those tiny little plant pots, and although I'm shaky now, I have trouble holding the sights on a small target. I was able to hit the plant pots at 50 yards. If it come down to feeding myself, I know I can take game, small game, maybe even medium game if I'm close enough. I'm sure to get a hog or a small doe if you're close enough. It's not really legal. It's not really ethical. I wouldn't recommend doing it. But if it's a eat or don't eat situation and you got to do what you got to do, I'm more than certain this rifle would do that. It's got the nice rubber butt stock on it, and I like this. One guy says, "Yeah, I think they forgot to take them out," and I had to take them out. Where I'd seen another video of this. All you do is lift them out like that, and what that does when you take them out, see, it opens up them holes, and it makes the butt stock softer. If you want your recoil dampening to be a little more. Me myself, it doesn't bother me. I'll leave them in. And that's for people who like the butt stock to be a little more firm. That's why those are in there. Not because they forgot to take them out, dummy. You big dummy. But, yeah, I mean, all in all, I really cannot in any way complain about this rifle. So far, it's been great. It's relatively accurate, even with my shakiness. I'm still able to hit my targets. I got a squirrel in the freezer. I took Thanksgiving. I took a squirrel with it just to see could I. And I got the squirrel. Definitely got the squirrel. But it didn't hit exactly where I wanted it to. It hit the leg joint, rear leg joint. I pulled it off, and I hit the rear leg joint, and it traveled right up the thigh and into the body cavity where it went through a lung. So, I mean, it's definitely got the knock 'em down power. As long as you can deal with the 51 pounds of cocking effort it requires, you can fire this rifle all 10 shots in less than 20 seconds. With your standard rifles, like my other two that don't have the swarm mechanism, or like my stepson's little gamo, we got him, you can only fire about 2 shots, maybe 3 in 20 seconds. So, if you're looking for an all-around, very powerful 177 for plunking, plinking in the backyard, that'll still take you some good-sized game with about as much foot-pounds of energy as most of your standard, not Magnum. The Magnum version of this in 22, much more beast than this 177 is, as much of a beast as this is. But if I was going to shoot a rabbit I would be more than likely to try to take him with this than I would my 22 caliber Shockwave. The Shockwave just don't quite. It does 18, 19 foot-pounds of energy. This does 21 to 23 foot-pounds of energy. Just with the smaller diameter, shot placement is key. So, but, oh, my cigarette smoke all in the camera. Well, alright guys, well, I just wanted to talk about the Gamo Magnum a little bit, now that I've had it for a little while. It was, you can get these for like $2.99, $2.89 if you order them online, Pyramid Air, whatever. A lot of places have them listed for $3.18 to $3.50. I bought mine out of a sporting goods store called Green Acres, and well, it cost me $3.50. That's the price you have to pay if you don't want to wait to get it. I'm not a online ordering type person. I don't like to wait for something to come. When I hand you my money, I like to get my product. So it's very rare I order online. Every now and then I may order some pellets or something online, but other than that, you know, my larger items, I tend to just pay the little extra to get it right then and there, go home and start shooting. I also have a Crossman F4. It was an $89 rifle at Walmart. This thing is like so much more powerful than the F4, and the F4 is nothing to sneeze at. The F4 is actually very accurate, and it lays a good thump on something too. The Shockwave 22, it's almost as powerful as this, not quite as much, unless you're out at further ranges. The 22 will probably retain more of its power over, say, 45, 50 yards than this will. But if I'm shooting at something within 25 to 35 yards, I believe this will hit harder than the 22 Shockwave. It's got plenty of power to punch that pellet through, penetrate. I've put it through half-inch thick boards out there. I've put it through 3/4 inch pine. So I mean, and that's at 20, 30, 35 yards. Listen, I really can't complain about the rifle much. I would definitely recommend it. And at one time I said I'd never waste my money on no Gamo. Well, I might have been wrong, and Gamo might just be a really, really good rifle. Till later, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click that thumbs up, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.